gentlemen.
Total, complete, and utter proof that the first 5 books of the Bible are not called the Torah.
That is very ambitious, Ted. People have been trying to prove that for years. Are you sure you can do that?
No problem.
Yes, Ted. Blind people falsely call the first 5 books of the Bible the Torah and then trick people into obeying the old law of Moses. That is silly because Jesus forbade stoning, polygamy and much more. We would have to kill pigeons when a woman had a baby, for instance.
I will be fascinated to see how you achieve this, Ted.
Here is the simple way to prove that the first 5 books of the Bible are not called the Torah by God anywhere in the Bible. The Orthodox Jews and many modern Judaizing cults say or infer that the first 5 books of the Bible have a special name, the Torah, and that these 5 books are more important than the rest of the Bible. If that was so, you would expect God, one time at very least, to prove somewhere in the Bible that those 5 books are, firstly, called the Torah, and secondly, they are more important in some way than the 4 Gospels, Psalms, the Book of Revelation, Proverbs, Daniel, Isaiah, and the rest. But in fact, God never does. Not even one single time. The truth is that the book of Genesis is being cynically used to give a false authority to the 4 books of the law. Most people would probably prefer to read Psalms. Many people believe the book of Job was written by the prophet Moses. What is wrong with the following statement? The book of Job was placed next to the Ark of the Covenant. What is wrong with that statement is that it is not proven. It is also not proven that the book of Genesis was placed next to the Ark of the Covenant, or that the first 5 books are called the Torah. And so why keep on and on and on and on saying something that is not proved? The expression book of the law is used several times in the book of Deuteronomy. Let us look at just one example. Deuteronomy 31. And he gave Joshua, the son of Nun, a charge, and said, Be strong and of a good courage, for thou shalt bring the children of Israel into the land which I swear unto them, and I will be with thee. And it came to pass, when Moses had made an end of writing the words of this law in a book until they were finished, that Moses commanded the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, saying, Take this book of the law and place it beside the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, that it may remain there as a witness against you. Deuteronomy 31, 23-26. Please notice this exceptionally important fact. It says, Ark of the Covenant. The word covenant is singular. So it would have the law, singular, of that singular covenant put next to it. Why would God place the book of Job next to the Ark of the Covenant? Or the book of Genesis that has law in it from 4 different covenants that all contradict the law of Moses?
Yes, that is absolutely right, Ted. Jacob married 2 sisters at the same time. But the law of Moses said that marrying 2 sisters was a sin, even though polygamy was allowed.
But here is a big shock. It seems to be very clear that the book of Deuteronomy was not even part of the book of the law placed next to the Ark of the Covenant. It says clearly that the words of the law were finished before Deuteronomy was completed. Deuteronomy must have been written after these events, as after the book of the law is completed, more events are described. Furthermore, as the end of the book describes the death of Moses and what happened afterwards,
Some say it was finished by Joshua.
Affirmative, Ted. It is what is called an anachronism. It is a contradiction in the timeline. Deuteronomy could not be inside the book of the law.
Yes, Robot Girl, that's right. It's a contradiction. It is also more than possible that the Greek scholars who wrote the Greek translation of the Old Testament, called the Septuagint, 300 to 400 years before Jesus was born, did not call it Deuteronomy by mistake, as many Jews tell us, but on purpose, because Deuteronomy means a second law. Deuteros equals second, and nomi stands for the law, a second law. And so, if the second book of the law was Deuteronomy, the first book would have contained the law of Moses, not Genesis or Job. Some might go as far as to say it is like putting an extra verse into the Gospel of Matthew and saying, "And Jesus read the Gospel of Matthew to strengthen himself before he was crucified," when the Gospel of Matthew was quite obviously written after the death of Jesus, not before it. What is more, the actual expression quoted from the Bible should be Book of the Law, not just the Law or the Torah. The Judaizers deliberately miss part of it off. The word book or scroll is also singular, and it says law, not laws. The Mosaic Law of the Covenant, singular, is in Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and by addition in Deuteronomy, but it is not mentioned anywhere in Genesis. So the people who repeatedly tell us how important it is to call the first 5 books of the Bible the Torah are by their very repetition proving it a lie. As if it was that important, God would have proven it at least once in the Word of God. That glaring comparison itself proves that the first 5 books of the Bible do not hold any weight, measure, or authority over the rest of the inspired Word of God.
Total, complete, and utter proof that the first 5 books of the Bible